Why is she? How are you feeling now? The nurse asked the girl who was sitting there completely silent. She doesn't even know where she is. The incident that happened a few days ago left her completely traumatized and heartbroken for life. She seems to lost herself in that, her charm and everything making her a living dead. The nurse slowly shook her shoulder. Why is she? She slowly shifted her empty eyes towards the nurse. Are you feeling any better now? She slowly gave a nod. The nurse smiled and turned towards the new doctor who has recently joined, and after seeing her, he was in complete shock. His heart dropped looking at her condition. This meeting was unexpected and most importantly, your condition. He never thought the girl who used to be an inspiration in school days, whom every teacher praises, and who was so cheerful, is now sitting here like this. He already got the idea that she doesn't recognize him, but he did. How can he forget the girl he used to admire, who used to be his crush, but because he was a little introverted, he never able to confess his feelings. Since how long she has been admitted here? He asked the nurse while his eyes never leaving your face. He was a little broken from inside after seeing your condition. More than a week. Her condition was very critical and she almost lost her life when she was brought up here. Jungkook looked at her a little curious to know what actually happened to you. What happened to her? She looked a little upset before telling him the incident happened to you. She got poisoned by her own husband. This was very shocking to Jungkook. First, he never thought you would marry this early and then this. Poisoned? She nodded, yes, and then he ran away. A neighbor brought her here, but that was too late as the poison started to mix up in her blood. Jungkook was speechless, like how can someone do such a nasty thing with their own lovers? He sat on the chair beside your bed. Miss Fine. He softly called her name and called her attention. She was looking at him as if trying to remember where she saw him, but her bad memory wasn't cooperating with her. Everything is going to be fine. He only able to say those words and that was also difficult for him. He then got up and walked from there. Take some rest now, okay? She helped you in laying down and covered you with blanket. Jungkook walked near the window and looked outside. The nurse brought you outside in the garden for a walk. You are better now, but still they keep their special care of you because you have become depressed after that. Sometimes you just stay at one place for hours without moving like a statue. How come you end up in such a situation? You used to have a very big dreams. I chose this medical field just in the hope that someday I will find you and get a chance to work with you. I was planning to confess my feelings to you, but I never thought we would meet like this. He stayed there for a while observing you and then moved to his desk and sat on the chair before opening a file. It has all the medical details related to you. He was reading each and everything carefully. Who was that jerk you fell for? How come you decided to settle down when you used to be an observant? He has a lot of questions in his mind that were making him curious to know how come you changed so drastically. The nurse has left you for a while so that you can walk as per your will. You were just walking but suddenly your feet trapped and you were about to fall forward but someone caught you. Don't worry, I got you. You stood up straight and looked at him. Thank you. A slight smile appeared on his face when you said those words. It's very rare to hear you saying anything. No need for that. It's my job. By the way, are you enjoying the weather? He thought of starting a conversation and he waited for your reply but feel a little awkward when you didn't say anything. It's okay. Anyways, the sky is beautiful today. Still no response from you. He started walking with you. Ryan, can I ask you something? You slowly turn your face towards him. Do you remember me? I mean, you probably never noticed me, but I want to tell you that I also used to go in the same school as you. I know. Those two words that came out from your mouth were really shocking to him. He again seemed unbelievable. You remember? You slowly nodded. You walked ahead while he followed. Then, can I ask you something else too? How did you end up like this? You had so many big dreams and you wanted to become a cardiologist. You never wanted to settle down before making your career. Then, why did you marry and with whom? He knew he's asking too much, but he couldn't control his curiosity. You didn't speak a word after that. Jungkook came to check on you at night. Okay, your blood pressure is normal, everything is perfect, and you're recovering well. He said, smiling at you, but didn't get the same response from your side. He slowly put his hands on top of yours, squeezing it gently. It did make some changes as you looked at him. There was warmth in his touch. You're going to be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Days started to pass and Jungkook was trying to cure your depression. He knew that you need someone who can understand you, who can analyze your pain when you are not in the state to express what's going inside your mind. He was giving you therapy by trying to connect with you, and it was working a little day by day. So many changes were seen in you after Jungkook came. The other staff were also surprised. Still, you hesitate to talk about your past, but Jungkook was helping you to overcome with that fear. He made you realize how strong and passionate you were, how you wanted to achieve so much, and for that you never slack off in your efforts. He knew it would be hard for you, but he wanted to help you to come out of that darkness. Why did you agree for the marriage at such a young age? You were not like this, then how? You looked down. The situation was different. My dad assured me that he'll gonna support me after the marriage. He will help me more than I would get in my house. It was a business deal, and because of my dad who insisted and requested me day and night, I ended up in that trap. But in the starting everything was normal. I was happy with the marriage. He was a good husband, or should I say, only I was thinking like that. He was hiding his true colors and was just looking for the right time. So you married to a guy you never saw and trusted him? How come you changed so much, Ryan? You look down because you yourself don't know the answers. Do you know that you were my idol, my inspiration, and I never thought I would meet you like this? Life doesn't give you what you want. Sometimes it can be so twisted that you can't do anything except watching it happening helplessly. I never thought he would poison me just because he wanted to get rid of me, but because he doesn't want his name to go down, he decided to kill me so that he can peacefully name it as suicide. You can't sit silent after bearing all that, Ryan. I will help you. That bastard need to be in the right place, and that is prison. I will help you in every way. Just trust me. You looked at him and shook your head. I don't want to do anything. He looked at you surprised. Ryan, you shook your head while your eyes were teary. I had enough. You have no idea from what situation I was suffering. I want to mark a pause to all those sufferings. He wanted to hug you right as away, but he can't. There are some limits set between patients and doctors, and right now he was your doctor. He never tell you his feelings, and maybe he would still wait. Nothing will happen to you from this point of your life. You're going to get everything, every happiness that you deserve, and that's my promise to you. Her pulses are not returning. Hurry up. Call the doctor. We need to shift her in the operation room quickly. One patient came in a very critical situation and she wasn't breathing while her family members were crying. The doctors weren't there yet, so the staff was menacing, but it was difficult. Excuse me, can I see? They were surprised by the way you quickly started handling the equipments and stuff. It left everyone in shock. You gave her CPR because she lost her breathing, and soon her pulses returned, leaving everyone surprised. They were happy too. Soon the doctors came and the girl was transferred to the operation room. Everyone started clapping for you. Deepak, how did you do that? Are you a doctor? This was the first time you smiled a little, which was barely noticeable. You shook your head. I left in middle. But you were really amazing. You left all of us in shock. That's because if she become a doctor, she will get the number one position and it will happen for sure. We all turned back and saw Jungkook walking near you. He stopped near you before looking. You did a great job. You're still unbeatable, so why don't you give it a try? Continue from where you left. I don't know if I will or not, but I'm ready. You doesn't want to disappoint him, and most importantly, you wanted to do something for yourself so that one day you will take your revenge by yourself for all those betrayals. Jungkook smiled at you. Tomorrow you're going to discharge. Let's root for a brand new life. You smiled slightly and nodded. In the evening, Jungkook was looking for you everywhere but only found in the garden sitting on the bench. You were sitting like unbothered by other people, just in your own world and without doing any movement. He stood at a distance for some time. About a month has passed, but you still can't forget that incident. No matter how much you show that you're fine now, you are not. Somewhere you just want to know the answer of everything. How come he becomes so cruel that not even for once he thought before poisoning you? He would have simply left if he asked you to be, because there wasn't much love in that relationship. In fact, somewhere it was toxic and you knew you have to get out of from that, but like this, you never imagined. What are you thinking? You slowly turn your head towards your right from where the voice came and saw Jungkook sitting beside you. He flashed a soft smile towards you. Everyone in the hospital is just talking about how professional you saved that woman's life. I just did what I learned. It wasn't that big of a thing. He shook his head. It is. Maybe you don't think, but it is. So what you're gonna do after leaving from here? You inhale slowly and look straight. After a pause you speak. I don't know. There was silence for a few minutes. Why don't you again start your career? Forget the past because it wasn't worth living in your memories and start a new life. He felt a tickle in his heart when you turned your face towards him. There was a lot of pain in your heart that you were carrying. Do you think it's that easy? I tried to find better places, but because I didn't have much time, I didn't able to look for much places. You slowly walked in the living room. This is perfect. Thank you so much. He walked behind you smiling. So are you ready to start a new life again? You slowly looked at him. I have to make an end of my previous relationship. He looked a little confused but then realized what you mean. I thought you would let it slide, but I'm happy that you considered to take your revenge. I'm with you. You chuckled sadly and inhaled. I'm not going to take any revenge and all. He again left confused. You slowly turned towards him and smiled. You have helped me a lot. I don't know how I'm going to repay you your kindness, but Thank you so much for being with me till now. I will never forget your kindness. Why are you making it so formal? Can't friends do this much? You smiled sadly and looked down. You're right. You were always kind to everyone. He was a little surprised because he always thought you never noticed him. Do you know that I used to idolize you? Today I became a doctor just because I thought someday we would meet and then I'll tell you everything and thank you for being my inspiration. You were always good. I'm nowhere near you. Don't say that. You're still the best. He chuckled a little while he smiled too. Are you hungry? Yes, a little bit. Let's order something then. Sir, someone wants to meet you. Daniel lifted up his face to look at his secretary. Let them. He bowed and left. Soon he heard the door open and then closed, making him lift up his face. His heart dropped when he saw you. You walked near his desk. He looked at you as if he saw a ghost. Your appearance shook him from head to toe. You smiled and took a seat, his eyes not leaving your face. Why are you looking at me like you've seen a ghost? Ah, probably you must have thought that you successfully ended me, right? His voice was lost somewhere and he couldn't find it. You leaned back and inhaled deeply before looking around the room. You are doing well, so much fame and power. I wonder it would be same if the public came to know about your real face or you'll be on the streets. What are you doing here? And how did you? He paused when you shot him a glance. Surprising, right? But not everyone is same as you. In fact, in humans like you are rare to find. You tried your best now. Will gonna pay for that? I want to see you behind the bars. I'm sorry, Vanya. He chuckled. Sorry? Really? Is that all you have to say? That's not fair. How would you say that if I wasn't alive? You only played like a coward. How sad. I'll compensate you for everything. I'll provide you with everything that you need. You clenched your hands. I don't need your money. And I don't wanna see you again in my life. He threw some papers in front of him. Just sign these papers, rest I'll see by myself. He picked the papers and took a look of them. Divorce papers? He slowly looked at you. Yes, divorce papers. Which you could have asked me to sign up if you wanted to live with your ex, but no. You wanted to go so low that you didn't hesitate trying to kill me and then leaving me like a using through stuff. How can you even do that to me? He slowly looked down. I'm so sorry. I don't need your apology. Just sign the papers and let's end everything here because I swear if you ever came in front of me again, I will not hesitate putting you behind the bars. Is it? Is that how easily you will let him go? He said, coming near you while you looked in front of you. He deserved to go behind the bars. If you can't do that, then let me. I want to start over again and doesn't want to stuck in the past. Now that I have cleared all the mess that has created in my life, I want to live peacefully. I want to follow my passion and dream without thinking about anyone. I just want to be with me. I don't need anyone. These words did made him a little insecure as he wanted to confess his feelings to you, but maybe now he has to wait again. You turned towards him. But I would love to see you by my side. I'm not going to completely selfish because friends like you are rare. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere leaving you. I was with you, I am and will forever. You smiled a little. Thanks. There was a silence for some time. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. I have again got admission in medical school. Hopefully in few years I'll be at the place I've always wanted to be. He smiled. I will wait impatiently. You both chuckled lightly. You will be my senior though. Who knows? You'll get the bigger position. And you both laughed a little. Let's go for dinner date tonight to celebrate your journey. It will motivate you. He smiled and nodded. Sure, let's go. He opened the door for you and closed it when you sit inside. Then he sat on the driver's seat and drove off.